Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is your Aquarius reading for August 2025. We're going to do a love reading and then we're going to do a career reading. So first we're doing Lenormand cards and then we're going to clarify with some tarot cards, okay? So let's jump in. What can Aquarius expect in August 2025? So cards are already jumping. I'm going to take them. Make sure to check out the channel for other content like shorts and some of the daily readings. Those are always fun. Here, let's do 2, 3. We're going to do 2 more cards for love. What can Aquarius expect in love 2025? One more. There. Okay. So for love, let's see. We have the moon, the lilies, the house, the child, and the scythe. Okay. So your home life is going to be at the forefront of your priorities this month. If you have kids, fur puppies, fur babies, sorry, not puppies, they could be kittens too, right? Fur babies or feathered babies or real babies, that is sort of going to be your focus in love in 2025 in August. There's something about this particular month that's going to bring in some change for you in the area of romance. It's going to happen a little suddenly, more suddenly than you think. Like you may be, if you're single, you may be sort of thinking that you're going to be single the majority of August 2025, and that turns out to not be the case. If you're in a relationship, there's something about the dynamic of the relationship that changes sort of suddenly. Like, for example, if you're having a difficult time with your partner, things might turn around for the better without you prompting it, without you realizing it, without you even sort of thinking that things will get turned around. They will get turned around. If things are nice and fun and healthy, and this is just a fun reading for you, then just take it with a grain of salt. Don't pay it too much mind. I don't see things going south, is I guess what my point. I don't see things going south. I just see a sudden change in your romantic life in the month of August 2025. I see there, however, I see there being a very sort of central focus on your home life as it relates to children, if you have children in the home. If you don't and you don't have kids yet, there's a lot of focus here about asking yourself what kind of future you want for yourself when you get older. Do you want to have kids or do you not want to have kids? That sort of thing. But there's a lot of focus there. You could also be moving. Some of you might be relocating in the month of August 2025, even if you aren't completely sold on the idea yet. I also see, well, I mean, you're an air sign, but I also see other air signs. So I see Gemini and Libra as well here. So you might be dealing with a Gemini or a Libra this month. Okay. There's also sort of this like feeling of understanding your limitations within where you're at in your life right now. Like if it is like, oh, I do want to have kids when I get older, I do want to start having, kids at whatever age. I think that there's a large part of you that wants to sort of plan for it. Like even if you don't necessarily have someone in mind, it's just kind of like, hey, like TikTok, like I want to be in this place for this time. By this age, I want to have these things, whether it's like financially solvent and be at this specific place in life financially, or within this like health, if there's health goals involved, that's also coming through. But there's a lot of inner workings that you have going on this month that are kind of guiding you of like, what is it that you see for your life, long-term goals, like the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan. I do see someone from the past coming in. It's coming in pretty clearly. This person from your past is likely younger. They're kind of a younger energy. Pretty charming, pretty like exciting. There's something sort of exciting or charming or endearing about this person, like something very attractive is what I want to say. But I do see an ex coming back into the picture. I do. It's very clear. There's something about this particular person that you can't let go of. There's some quality. It's almost like they have like a je ne sais quoi about them that you can't sort of replace or you can't let go of. I don't know that they know that. I don't know that they know that. It almost feels like you've been calling them back in, or like you've been manifesting them back into your life. Like you've been thinking about them so much without telling them, or maybe even without telling anybody, but somehow it gets, transported in through the ether, and they get the notice and they're like, yep, on my way. And then here they come. And then they just show up. They might show up at your house. Or they might tell you, hey, I'm in the neighborhood, and I thought of you. How are you? That sort of thing. Or this made me think of you and the time that we, hung out or ate dinner, or this or that, or blah, blah, blah. And like, there's sort of this like memory or reminiscing. And they kind of use that as like an icebreaker to start talking to you again. You come up in your reading, the star. That's always a good thing. That's always sort of like an empowering message that you're in the right place at the right time. Even if you're having doubts about your love life, you're exactly where you need to be. There's some lessons to be learned. I think there's some lessons. You're kind of in the middle of learning a few lessons, in fact. I think this person coming back into your life is a part of that. It'll be different for each of you, and I'm getting that very strongly as well. So I'm going to be very careful about what I say, because it's such a general reading, right? Like, and I don't get any one specific line, because this person is going to look different to each and every one of you. They have played a different role. But I will say that you're in this process of sort of healing, learning past lessons, and trying to grow. And this person coming back is a part of that. Now, whether it's to tie up loose ends, whether it's to get some, closure, or whether it's to welcome them back in and discuss about a potential future, I don't know. That's going to be kind of different, left up to each one of you. You'll need to decide with discernment what role this person actually plays in your life moving into the future. But I will say that your needs moving into the future is not exactly where this person is at currently. That's not to say they will never get there. I don't know. This is just in August, but in August, they're not exactly where you see yourself in the future. Now, where you are right now, if that mimics where they're at, it's possible. We'll take a look. I think there are some things that have happened with this person in the past that are sort of like the elephant in the room. I wonder if this is something that you two will talk about at some point. It certainly won't be the full, the first discussion that you have or the first conversation that you have with this person. But I wonder if at some point you sort of address those things from the past. You have a lot of majors. You have the Death, the Star, the Empress, the Temperance, the Hierophant. 3, 4, 5. Basically half of the cards. Yeah, this is a breakup. See how I said a person from the past? And there is some pain here. The 3 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. There's a lot of pain here. This person has caused you a lot of pain. regardless of whether it was a long-term connection or short-term, there was a lot of pain here. I want to say there was pain on both sides, though. This person was hurt quite a bit as well. Maybe not to the same degree, but they were hurt as well. Because things did end. This is an ex for sure. I already said that though. You're still, I get the same thing that I got earlier, which is where you're headed is sort of like 5-year plan, 10-year plan. What do I want with kids? What kind of house do I want to get? Where do I live? Where do I want to live? What kind of life do I see myself having? That's the central focus of your August 2025. And this person isn't able to give you that today. They're not able to give you that August 1st. They're not able to give you that the last day of August. I don't know if it's a 30-day month or 31-day month. I think it's 30. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying. And I think you're unsure. But again, they have this charm. And I think there's, like, I see you wanting to do things the right way. There's something about wanting to do things the right way that's very important to you. And this person coming back in is like, it happens all so quickly that it's kind of like jarring for you. Like, wait, say what? Like, what? What are you doing here? Oh, hi, what? You know, like, because it happens very suddenly. I see, these two are very fast-moving cards. The Scythe and the Ace of Rods, the Ace of Wands. Just very fast-moving. I think this person, there's a possibility that this person sort of does it on a whim. It's sort of like on impulse. They reach out to you. That's why they're kind of like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, so yeah, I was just in the neighborhood, thought of you, da-da-da. Like, they don't have much substance to their conversation, at least not initially. I don't know if they will later, but initially they don't have much substance to it. It's sort of on impulse, on whim that they reach out to you. But it is because they've been missing you, right? It is because they've had you on their mind. It isn't just because, like, out of the blue and like, yeah, like they've been missing you. You've been on their mind, and that's why they like reached out. But on that particular day, at that moment, at that place and time, it was just kind of like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You know, like, and they do it. But it does give you both an opportunity for healing. I see that in the Temperance. If you do continue to go down the path with this person, you're going to need to take things slow, which will kind of be like pulling in the reins on this person a little bit, as well as yourself, because I think a part of you would like to just be with them, right? Or just be. But you're going to need to do things the right way, and you're going to want to take your time with this. And I think it's, you know, I think it's a wise choice. Whoop! Whoa. So many cards. Okay. I'll take these 3 because they flipped over. So you have Milk and Honey, Breathe, and Thinker. Yes. Absolutely. So Milk and Honey is about those joyous, wonderful, beautiful moments that you share with someone. Someone can be your milk and honey. It's like they make you feel so good. Remember I said endearing? There's something sort of endearing about this person. Yeah, there's something like warm and fuzzy that you get, that you feel when you're around this person. And that's why you don't want to let them go. It's just like the way they make you feel. There's something about either the attention that they give you, or the way they look at you, or the way they treat you when you're around them. They might be very like chivalrous. If they're a gentleman, if it's a lady, they might be so feminine that it really brings out your masculine side, like your protective side, because they're so delicate or fragile. But it's a very sort of intoxicating, sweet, melodic sort of feeling, if melody could be a feeling. You need to breathe. You need to like breathe and pinch yourself a little bit, because you're going to struggle to like I said, when they reach out, it's going to be kind of out of the blue, and it's going to be a surprise. And you're going to be like, what? Hi. Oh, hello. How are you? Like, what's going on here? But it will leave you thinking. It will leave you thinking about the future, the prospect of having them back in your life. Is this even possible? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Like, what's going on? Should I entertain this or not? I think at the end of the day, take your time. Take your time. Feel it out. Take it day by day, date by date, if you guys are dating back, you know, getting back together sort of thing. And just have very realistic expectations of whether or not your priorities align. Because remember, you started out the reading by prioritizing your home life and your future, and what your future as it relates to family and love and romance and prosperity and all those things, stability, what that means for you, what that looks like for you. So test things out with this person. See if they're on the right page, on the same page with you, or if they'll even be on the same page with you in the future, within the next, you know, few months or even few years, depending on where you are in terms of like you building, right? So see where their 5-year plan is and where their 10-year plan is, and see if it's something that you can work out. Okay, let's work on your career. Let's check that out. Okay, guys, career. What can Aquarius expect in August 2025 in career? Career, money, prosperity, finances, all that. Last shuffle. Okay, nope, one more. There we go. Money, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Across the ship, the mice. And across the ship, the mice, the star, and the snake. Okay. First thing I'm going to tell you, since this is a career reading or a money reading, is be careful how you're spending your money. Be careful how you're spending the money. The mice, every time it comes out in a career reading, is talking about like a lot of spending, okay? Overspending, spending on little things that you should not be spending on. Instead of going to Starbucks or Pete's or any of the coffee shops every day or however often, try making your coffee at home, right? It's about the small expenses that add up. That's what the mice always represents. It's like sort of you begin at a place of abundance, and then the mice come and sort of trash everything little by little. Little by little, they eat everything up, and then before you know, everything's gone. Everything's just wasted. So that talks to you about your money. So please, please, please keep your savings healthy and try not to overspend on little things here and there, because they do add up, and before you know it, you're $50 out, $200 out, $500 out, maybe more. So no impulse buying, no impulse shopping the month of August 2025, okay? Just please be very, very careful. Also, be careful of how your emotions make you spend your money. Like, be careful if you're overcompensating for your feelings, and that's why you're overspending, or if you're treating people out, make sure things are equitable and you're not sort of, you know, having like that freeloader friend that like they're always available and so you always treat them out. But it's like, well, yeah, they're just, of course, they're always going to be available for you because you always treat them out, right? So just be mindful. It could also be a freeloader partner. So if there's a certain person that you're dating or that you're interested in, don't overspend on this person. Or don't try to like woo them by spending a lot of money or taking them to nice fancy restaurants when like a regular nice romantic restaurant will do. That sort of thing. That's coming up with the snake. Something happens in the month of August though. That sort of, there's a change here again. There's a change. I know there was a change in your love life. There's also a change in your career and your finances here. Something that may have not, you know what I'm getting? I feel like that job that passed you up, or that promotion that you were passed over, sort of reappears and is like either reposted or like comes back around. Something from the past emerges. I mean, that happens in love too, right? Didn't we just say your ex comes back? Same with this. Something from the past reemerges in your career or your money. Or some idea, some project that you had abandoned a while ago sort of gets stuck in your head again and you want to revisit it for some reason. You have the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Swords, yeah, twice, Hierophant, Ace of Wands, And the Three of Wands. That's good. That's good, that's good. There is potential for growth here with this new opportunity. But this new opportunity you feel like was dead, like gone and dead. Look, Ten of Swords, and the ship. You were sailing away from it. Something that you've left behind, that you've moved on from, sort of gets reintroduced here. Something that you liked too. Some opportunity, some position, some investment opportunity, or like partnership. It happens again, like it gets reintroduced. I will say to be careful. Here I will tell you to be careful, and I will tell you why. You want to do things the right way. The Hierophant came up in your love reading as well. And Aquarius, you have a very strong sense of what is right and what is wrong. You might be able to say, I understand you, I understand where you're coming from, but you don't necessarily agree. But you're one of the fixed signs. So once you decide something is right or something is wrong, like you stick to it, and there's no like, you're not malleable, like you're not flexible when it comes to certain things. But there's something about this opportunity that's going to ask you to be flexible in a way that you're not comfortable with. And you might need or want to turn it down, even though you really want it and like it. At the very least, you need to talk about it so there's clarity on the issue and there's like transparency, and you can see whether you and this other organization or person are on the same page. But I have a sneaky feeling that they're not. You're not on the same page. Something here may be sugar-coated, unfortunately. So let's get some clarifiers. Eight of Pentacles, yep, work-related. Nine of Wands, the Fool, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Swords. Your gut will tell you. So you have the Hierophant and the High Priestess. These two are the ones that you go to for help, for guidance. And just like religion and integrity, values, dogmas, all those things are telling you no. Your gut is also on the same page, telling you no. You see this? The Eight of Swords. This is how the reading ends. You feeling trapped. There's something, and it's not about something you don't know or you find out or blah, blah, blah. There's some part of this sort of offer or contract that you want to be very careful about, especially because it's a little bit of an Achilles heel for you, because you really want it, because you really like it. There's something about it that you really gravitate towards, or it's sort of like a very like passion project thing for you. But it reemerges from the past, but this time it's not as, there's something that's not as attractive about it. It's changed. Maybe you've changed and you've changed away from it, but you are going to be sort of resistant against it with good reason. There's something that rubs you the wrong way about this. So I would listen to your gut. And I think the reason why you kind of are so like initially excited about it or want it is because you might be in a place where you're ready for some change, but it's not quite time yet. There is a change that happens here in terms of you being, something being reintroduced to you from the past, but I don't think that you take it, because I think that your gut is sort of pushing you in a different direction. I think your gut is pushing you towards something else that you can start either on your own or you have more control over, because this particular opportunity feels like you're going to have a lot of lack of control. Okay, so let's get you an advice card for career and money. What is an advice card here? Let's do this one. Poised, yeah. There is going to be something here that you're going to align with, because look, you have the Star, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands. There is something here that is for you, but it isn't this offer that's coming back from the past. This is something new, and that's the place that you belong. That's the place that sort of aligns with your truth and your purpose. You're going to be super poised, super excited to start this new project, because this old project that resurfaces is a no, basically, is what it's telling me, okay? Because it doesn't sort of align with your morals or your integrity, something like that, okay? But yeah, but good news is still coming in, and you're still going to be sort of aligned, but it's going to be, you're going to need to be very wise and tap into your gut about this. And don't surrender to values that are not yours. You stay true to who you are, because you have a very strong sense of north. So yeah, okay. All right, guys. Well, that's the message that I have for you today. Good luck in your August 2025. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and check out all the content that I have, all right? And I have dailies, so I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.